Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome on into the Jets Report. My name is Patrick Siepman, and we got a super fun show to talk about today. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones was on ESPN Radio New York, and he pretty much leaked that the Cowboys called the New York Jets about a possible Micah Parsons for Quinnen Williams trade. So I'll give you guys my thoughts on that. Kind of crazy report coming out right now. And then also with the Jets-Bills game tomorrow at noon, we will be giving you guys a final injury report there. Pretty good news for the New York Jets. Key player Ed Oliver is out, so we'll talk about the impact as well. But, hey, this is why you guys hit that subscribe button. Even though it's my off day here, still want to get you guys the latest around the New York Jets, and this is a super fun story to talk about. So hit that subscribe button today. We're around 600 subscribers away from 10,000 subs. So if you guys have not already, it would really go a long way here. Free, easy way to help us out. And plus, if you guys want more Jets content on your YouTube page, just hit that subscribe button today. So it was actually Rich Cimini who tweeted this out saying, interesting Jets nugget here. When he was shopping Micah Parsons, Jerry Jones called the Jets and sounds like he asked for Quinnen Williams and then some. It was a brief convo. Jones says the Jets told him they didn't have the resources to trade for Micah Parsons. So I'm assuming Jerry Jones was obviously calling, a bunch of teams that had good interior defensive linemen. So it does make sense that he hit up the New York Jets calling about Quinnen Williams. But obviously, the asking price for Micah was not just a straight-up swap of Quinnen for Micah. Jerry Jones obviously wanted an extra first-round pick on top of that. And I think the Jets made the right decision here because let's just say if it was Quinnen Williams for a first-round pick, I don't think that's egregious to ask for Micah Parsons. Honestly, I think that is a completely fair offer for both sides. You're getting a perennial all-pro defensive tackle in Quinnen Williams, still at the prime of his career, for Micah Parsons, one of the most impactful players in the NFL. But obviously Micah is worth more than Quinnen Williams, so you just had the first-round pick. So I don't think the compensation that Jerry Jones was asking for was ludicrous whatsoever. But also, I think with where the Jets are at, this is probably the right call. Like now, if the Jets were like in the Green Bay Packers position, where they felt like they were like one massive move away from really contending for a Super Bowl like this upcoming season, then yeah, maybe the Jets would have thought about it. But also would have made that much sense, like personnel-wise, to have Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, and Micah Parsons. Obviously, Micah would be playing, majority of the time. But then what do you do with Jermaine Johnson, or Will McDonald? One of those guys would kind of have to be that rotational third edge rusher, and then you're just not getting the most value out of that player. So I thought this was the right decision. It would have been, honestly insane if the Jets would have traded for Micah, but they just weren't in that spot. Like, this is still a, rebuilding team. They're trying to set the culture. They don't view this as like, hey, this is the year we got to go win the Super Bowl. They just view this as like, hey, we're going to establish the culture. We're going to play like New York Jets, Aaron Glenn football. And that's what they're trying to accomplish this year. Now, if you would have gone all in for a guy like Micah Parsons, obviously would have made you better in the short term, I would think, but then I still have my questions personnel-wise. So, it does make sense here that Jerry Jones was calling the New York Jets for, Quinnen Williams and a first-round pick. I wonder also if Jerry maybe would have said, all right, give me Quinnen, Breece Hall, and maybe a second-round pick just to get, like, two more, like, immediate impact players because obviously, the Cowboys running back position. You got Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, but like they are always in the latest rumors to go get that next top guy. And, Breece Hall has been in the latest trade rumors, so I wonder if his name was floated around there. But pretty interesting stuff that Jerry just flat out called the New York Jets and was pretty much offering Micah Parsons for Quinnen Williams. So pretty insane bombshell report here. But, to kind of round up my thoughts on this, I think the Jets made the right decision. It's not like Jerry Jones was asking for too much. Quinnen and a first, that's a fair offer for Micah Parsons, but the Jets just aren't in a position right now to kind of go all in on a guy and, give away future draft capital. That's just not really the spot they're in, and that's okay. They're trying to build something. Now, maybe down the line, a year, 2 years from now, when the Jets are closer to competing for championships, then maybe they could perform this blockbuster trade. But it's just crazy where if Darren Muji was really trying to get aggressive, like maybe Micah would have been with the New York Jets. Now, it's obviously, I could get on here and it's easier, to say like, oh, the Jets should have done it. Did you see Micah Parsons on Thursday night? He looked amazing. Yes, but there's always context with everything. The Jets aren't really in that spot. And plus, personnel-wise, that would have left a massive gap at that defensive tackle position. I just think it was the right decision. Even though it's crazy to say, the right decision was to not trade for one of the best players in the National Football League in Micah Parsons. But with where the Jets are at, I just think they made the right call here. So shout out Darren Muji. Honestly, first offseason as the Jets GM. The draft's looking amazing. Like, Membu looks like a perennial all-pro right tackle year one. Mason Taylor, he is hopefully going to be a stud. Even got guys like Malachi Moore, who we're all big fans of. So Darren Muji, and even the Justin Fields pickup this offseason, like, he's made some really, really good moves. So I think this was just another one of those. But let's close out today's show talking about the game tomorrow. I'm super excited. I think the Jets got a great opportunity here to kind of prove that week one wasn't really like a fluke, where it wasn't just that week one juice. And it's like, no, they actually have something building here with Tanner Engstrad, the offensive coordinator, Justin Fields, and this run game. So a massive opportunity, interdivisional game. And plus you got a chance to be 1-1, tied at the top of the AFC East for just a little bit. But still, massive game for the Jets. Now, big injuries for the Buffalo Bills. Ed Oliver, we talked about this recently. He is going to miss this game with an ankle injury. He was seen in a walking boot, and this is massive for the Jets offense because we have discussed what's the number one key to victory in this game. Keep Josh Allen off the field, and it's twofold. Number one, you just want to limit how many possessions Josh Allen gets, because if you get him possession over possession and you just flood him with a ton of different opportunities, he's going to make you pay. Like, you can shut out Josh Allen for a possession here or there if you're really playing good football, but it's just impossible to shut him out for like 4 or 5 straight possessions. So you got to limit his possessions, and by doing that, you should be able to run the football. And without Ed Oliver in the lineup, the Jets got a really big opportunity here to really get downhill. Now, I was so impressed last week that the job the offensive line did against a very good Steelers front was absolutely fantastic. Armand Membu, the highest graded right tackle in the league, not only amongst rookies, but the entire NFL. Hopefully he builds off that. Fashanu impressed me, especially running to Fashanu's side. Watch out for that in this matchup. The Jets had a lot of success running behind Simpson and Fashanu on that left side of the offensive line. So maybe they keep on attacking over there. But then you also add in the Justin Fields read options. Like, we saw that being really utilized in the second, third, and fourth quarter. It almost felt like the Jets were setting it up in the first quarter, where Fields just gave it to Brees over and over again, get those edge rushes, just naturally kind of come down on the running back, and then Fields took a couple of them. So I just thought the way they were setting up plays was really, really special. So shout out to Tanner Engstrad and them. But, Ed Oliver out of this game, that's huge. Now the Jets will be without Kene Nwangwu, Josh Reynolds, Jay Tufele, and Michael Carter and Mason Taylor, both questionable. We're all assuming Mason Taylor is going to go. Same with Michael Carter. But biggest loss here is Josh Reynolds. For me personally, if you guys have been watching the show, I'm a Tyler Johnson stan. I think this is a good opportunity for him, and a pretty much good news for the Jets, because Tyler Johnson steps in as wide receiver 2. Hopefully not Allen Lazard as 3. Let Aaron Smith run that wide receiver 3 spot. So you got Garrett Wilson, Tyler Johnson, Aaron Smith as your 3 wide receivers. That's how I would roll it out, but pretty crazy show today. Jerry Jones called the New York Jets about Micah Parsons and gave you guys the latest injury report. So we're going to be going live an hour before kickoff tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern time. So tune in then. We'll see you guys next time. As always, go Jets.